Alright guys, welcome to this aspect of the course. Today we're going to be looking at chart patterns, okay? And chart patterns are one of the very important tools or technical stuffs that you need to master, because what chart patterns helps us to do is to be able to identify when a given trend is most likely about to change, so that you don't get caught, okay, in market reversals. For example, you don't want to be caught up in a market that was going in the downward direction and suddenly swings back and we have an uptrend. Okay, so what we're going to be doing with chart patterns is for us to be able to identify some different types of chart patterns, okay, that when you see it in a given live chart, you can be able to infer what the market is doing. Okay, so we have different types of chart patterns. There are a whole lot of them. Okay, we have more than 28 types of chart patterns. Okay, but we're going to be looking at the very important ones and the ones you most likely see often, and the ones I actually look out for whenever I want to analyze the markets or take my trades. So we're looking at double top. All right, so what double top looks like: for example, we have this market that was trending at this point, and then we made this high point here, we came down, okay, and we made another high here. So you can see here we have like two tops here. This is the first top and this is the second top. So this gives us a double top. So whenever you see this double top, then your bias about the market is most likely going to be bearish. Okay, so that's actually what's played out here. So you can see after this double top here, the market started to come down and we hit this our neckline here. So you can see that is exactly what's played out here. So we hit the first top and then the second top, we're not able to break it, and immediately we hit our neckline, the market started coming down. You can see it starts to drop down here. All right, so your ability to be able to identify this type of charts, okay, would help you to know, okay, oh, here we go, we have a double top. What is the market most likely going to do next? So the market most likely is going to be bearish, and that is exactly what played out right here. Okay, so guys, I've given you this book. Okay, I've dropped the link to get this manual. Make sure you read this manual because it's really going to be of great help to you, especially any topic that we go over. Make sure you go back and read it like word to word, read everything, and it is structured in a way that it is more like a storybook with funny stuffs, okay, with things that are interesting. Okay, so you can see some illustrations here, like this one giving you an illustration, and then look at this guy right here. Okay, it's kind of very funny, right? So you need to really read this manual and you're really going to find it interesting. Guys, remember I told you that one of the characteristics of an uptrend market is its ability to make higher highs and higher lows. So let's assume that you actually traded this market and it came to this point here and it made this high point here, okay, and then retraced back and tried to push back to the uptrend, but at this point it made this high point, and then came down again, and then tried to push again to break this point. Ideally, if this was to be an uptrend, okay, it was supposed to make a higher high, so we're supposed to like hit somewhere around here, okay, but unfortunately we didn't get that, so it just made almost the exact point like the previous high. So that's how the market started coming down here, okay. And assuming we were trading above this neckline here, okay, assuming we didn't have this red candle here and it maybe went back up, we could still say that this market is still maybe in an uptrend or it's still bullish. But immediately we broke this neckline right here, as you can see on the next page. At this point, immediately we broke this neckline here, we started coming down here, and the market started bleeding, okay. So let's assume that you were at this point and you had a buy bias, and you came up to this point and you see some greens or some blues, and then the market bounced back. At this point you are at break even, okay, and let's say you are a very strong holder, you're still holding on to the market, and it comes back here up again, all right, and reverse back. At this point too, you are at break even point. So because of maybe your greed and because of for the fact that you have seen some money in your bank account, like you've seen the blues at this point, you decide to still hold on to the market. So you see that what happens at the end of the day is that the market reverses back against you and starts to bleed, and you get stopped out somewhere right here, okay. So it's a taboo, or it's a very unheard of that as a market trader that you should be in profits and then somehow you get stopped out in that same market. It means that you do not have the right discipline, or you do not have the right emotional control over your greed, all right. So it's not a very good sign as a trader if somewhere you were at profits and then eventually you get stopped out in loss, not even at break even. So you guys should be very mindful of that. So ladies and gentlemen, assuming that you were in this market and you were buying, and probably you're seeing some pullbacks candles, let's assume that this was to be on a weekly time frame, okay, and these are weekly candles. So once you zoom out and you see this type of double tops, okay guys, what you just need to do is just wait for this neckline here, okay. Immediately this neckline is broken, your brain most definitely is going to flip. So even if we are in a bullish trend, okay, even if we were buying in this market and it breaks this neckline after forming these double tops here, okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is mostly what is going to play out. So you just have to wait and position yourself at this neckline. Once it is broken, guys, you have to sell this market. This is most likely what is going to play out most of the times, all right. So I usually look out for this type of movement, this type of patterns in a weekly time frame, and once you find out, guys, you just have to suck the pips, all right, just suck it and suck the market. All right guys, so that's for the double top, okay. Let's look at the other one, double bottom. So it's more like a flip of the double top, but in this case you have it, all right, flipped downwards, okay. So this market right here okay, it was coming down, would try to, okay, be bullish here, but it kept coming down, kept making lower lows and lower highs. All right, and then we have this neckline here. After making this bottom here, okay, it tried to go back up to meet this neckline and still came down again to make a second bottom. All right, so guys, once this neckline is broken after this double bottom, okay, your mind will just flip that this market right here is going to push back up. Okay, so it's kind of a reverse of what happens with the double top. So let's look at how this actually played out right here. So you can see right here, immediately we were able to break this neckline. Okay, then the market started pushing up to the upside, right? So that's how to trade this type of pattern or this type of market. Okay, once you're able to identify the double bottom, all right, and it breaks the neckline, okay, the next bias in your mind most likely is going to be an uptrend. So it's going to break it and the market will start to trade up, all right. All right, guys, taking example from what we have right here, you can see this market here is Euro USD and it's on a weekly time frame. So you can see that once we were able to find this double top here, okay, and then the market starts to come down and break this neckline just around here, okay, so you can see how it's played out so nicely and until it came down up to this point, and this is 1500 pips, guys. This is 15 pip drop, guys. You can imagine that, right? So huge. So I mean, very interesting. So it's just your ability to be able to look at the chart and see what exactly is going on and be able to apply all the things we've been talking about all this while inside this course. Okay, so by the time you look at this weekly time frame now, okay, you're going to zoom out maybe to your 4-hour time frame, and then you can be able to now find that, because inside of this candle, okay, this weekly candle, you are going to have like 7-day candle inside 1 week, and then okay, around about 6 candles for 4-hour time frame in a day, right? So you can be able to find out some pullbacks and know where to enter the market like a sniper, guys. Okay, so once you see what is going on, the market direction, you've gotten that from the higher time frame, like the weekly time frame, and then you come down to the 4-hour time frame. That's where you're going to enter into the market, and you're going to, like, for example, this is, you might not necessarily have to enter this point. You can just wait for the market to come down somewhere around here, and then you're just going to enter the market and boom, right, you suck that pips up to this point. Okay, and then you could just be risking maybe about 2 positions or something like that, and then you can just suck this out, right? So right here, guys, when you synergizes all the stuff we've been talking about together, all right, you check out for your trend line, check out for your support and resistance, and your Fibonacci, and everything, you know, comes close and nice, and you suck the market from here all the way down 1500 pips, guys. So that's just a very, you know, simple way you can look at this. Just being able to identify some of these chart patterns that we were talking about can be the game changer in this market. So it's nothing too complicated. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Just make sure you get hang of the basic stuffs and look out for those basic things in the market, and these things can really be very simplified and easy. Okay, all right guys, so having finished talking about the double bottom, let's look at another chart pattern that you want to look out for, which is called head and shoulders. Okay, so you can see it kind of plays almost like that of double top, but there is a little bit of difference, right? A little bit of difference. So let's say, for example, we come all the way from here uptrend and we move to this point, and then we draw our Fibonacci 50% here, and you retrace back up here. Okay, and let's say you want to take the profit at this point, and you have taken your profit, and it starts to reverse back again. Okay, and normally we expect that it should come here and do a higher high, all right, but unfortunately it didn't, so it kind of stopped here. So this market can actually be a little bit confusing at this point here, right? And then it retraces back again to this neckline, and we're not even able to break it. So guys, what's actually going on? Okay, and then finally it tries to bounce back up again, and we come here to make another high equivalent to the previous two highs. Okay, so this gives us what we call a head and shoulder. So you can see this top here is higher than these two, and they're almost like on the same level. So once you are able to identify something like this, then guys, just know that the market is about to change trend. Okay, so if at this point we were in an uptrend and you notice this kind of resistance here and market starts to come down, guys, and you notice this head and shoulder here, most likely this market is about to reverse. And as you can see here, if you're not careful, this is what's going to happen. So if you are at this point and you're trying to buy this market, and it gets to this point and you're not able to recognize this pattern here, okay guys, this can come right here and break this neckline and draw, man, and you are being stopped out of the market. Okay, probably you can probably can relate with this in your trade in the past. Okay, where you are on a bullish in the market and you see something going maybe in your direction, and before you know it, once the market reverses back and you're not able to recognize this pattern here, okay, and then you are being stopped out of the market and it goes the other way around, right? So guys, that's how this actually plays. As you can see, we have a head and a shoulder right here. Okay, and then we also have this inverse head and shoulder, so it's almost like the same with this, but in this case it is reverse, right? So at this point we have this market going downtrend here, and then market tries to bounce back and then comes down again. Okay, we expected it to make a lower low, right? For this market to actually be in a downtrend, confirmed downtrend, we're supposed to make a lower low somewhere around here, right? But guys, this came here and stopped at this point and then tried to bounce back again. Okay, and then it gets to our neckline and then it hits this lower low right here. Okay, and then just before you know it, it starts to recover back again and going up, back up in the uptrend direction, and then come down to form a higher low right here. So this gives us an inverse head and shoulder. Okay, so what most likely would happen at this point is that this market is going to break this neckline and move up in the uptrend. Okay, and that's exactly what played out right here. Okay, so being able to identify these patterns, okay, and recognize them would help you beating this market. So I'm actually going to log into a live market and show you guys a practical example so that you can understand it way better than just trying to explain from the book right here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to do me a little bit favor, right? I want you guys to read this book, like read every damn thing. Let me tell you one thing, guys. Your ability to make money in this market depends largely on what you know. All right, because if you have the right information, you can always be able to spot things. You can always have that eye view, okay, to look at the market from a point of knowledge. So guys, I really want you guys to make sure you read this book, okay, and grab all the basic information, okay. All right guys, so there are other ones here that I might not like take out the time to go over all of them, because some of them I don't actually use them, like this rising wedge, or so many other ones right here. But the basic ones I use most of the times are the two that I've shown you. But guys, still read these things up, because you might eventually find them in real life situations, and when you see them you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. You can have an understanding of what is actually going on, and you can use that to make your analysis, right? So make sure you read up the rest of the chart patterns, okay? So I'm actually going to hop on a live chart and try to show you guys live examples of how this whole stuff works, okay? All right guys, let's look at this chart right here. We're looking at GBP USD, and we're looking at this chart on a weekly time frame. So I want you guys to look at somewhere around here, and let's see what actually played out right here. Okay, now I'm going to look at this point. Okay, look at this right here. So you can see this point right here. Okay, right. All right guys, so you can see we have this movement here that came here and formed right here, and then try to pull back, and then we hit a higher high right here, okay, and then came down and then came up with this another push right here. So you can see visibly, right, this is a header and a shoulder. So what happens after that? You can see the markets came nicely down. So this right here gives us that impression that this market probably is going to reverse, because we were having an uptrend right from here, okay, then we came down, tried to bounce back, and then came back and formed this header and shoulder. So immediately we'll see this, our mind will just flip that this market is about to reverse, and that is how it came nicely down right here, okay. And so same thing also tried to play out here. You can see our double top right here. We have this here and then this here, and you can see how the market started to play nicely too at this point. So guys, it's just for you to be able to recognize these patterns when you see them. So guys, that's pretty it on a live chart right here. So your ability to be able to see these patterns and be able to recognize them would help you to know what the market may likely do, or the bias of that market at that point, okay. So guys, that's pretty much how much you can take on chart patterns. But like I said, make sure to read up the materials, and you'll be able to get much more information, okay, more than what I have just explained, because these are the basic stuffs. We've not yet gotten into the nitty-gritty of the main thing we're going to be doing inside this course, okay. So I will see you guys in the next videos.